Hello, everybody. Welcome to Skip Evans. We got the half nude Deb Lamphere over there. No, I'm just kidding. That's what we're laughing about. It's just before I clicked on the music here, and everybody's like chiming in already. But I said, Deb, what are you doing? Because she was putting a sweater on. She goes, it looks like I have no clothes on. So,
I have to look presentable here.
Yeah, I'm fully clothed. And our guest tonight, and it's a wonderful time with this young lady. She is back. I want y'all to say hi to my friend Tiffany Woys. And hello, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Oh, my God. It's so good to see you. Look at that smile. It's good to have you back again on Skip Happens. Oh, my goodness. How are you? Talk to us.
I'm doing good. It's really hot here in Nashville, so that is that's been a struggle. But yet raining all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, are we in Seattle or are we in Nashville?
Really?
It has been a lot of rain there. Yes.
A ton of rain. It's just I'm like, I just want a sunny day.
well, we had a good sunny weekend, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm planning on actually coming to, not your part, but I'm coming to New York for 4th of July. So.
Where are you going?
New York City.
Are you performing?
I'm not.
No,
just we're having fun.
Good.
We're going to sail around the Hudson and everything on the 4th of July and around the Statue of Liberty and everything.
Yeah.
We have a sailboat that we're going to do it on, and for with a few friends. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Deb, we need to go down. We need to go to the dock. Wherever, and we're just not going to let them know that we're there until then they're going to be like,
come on the sail. It's not my sailboat. Like, we're renting it.
Oh, there you go.
What a great idea! What a great idea! And you get to enjoy.
Kind of torn between the sailboat idea, or if you've ever seen the movie Hitch, the company kind of copied Hitch, and they you can rent jet skis on the Hudson, kind of like what they did.
Yes.
And I was like, I kind of want to do that. But the people I'm going with were like, we don't really want to do that. I'm like, all right, fine.
Can I ask a really stupid question? Is the Hudson really clean? That, you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like, I don't even know if it would be really great to be on like you're right, on a jet ski. Like
I don't know. Would I want a water ski on the Hudson down in that area? I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? Now the more that I look at it, it's not clear.
No. But we would definitely go on a sailboat and hit.
Sailboat.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we're gonna bring champagne on it, you know.
You could detour up to Syracuse and we could rent a boat and go out on Skinny Atlas Lake.
That would be interesting, but we're talking with Tiffany Woys tonight, and as we mentioned just minutes ago, she has been on with Skip Happens before with Deb and I, and she was out with another single at that time that did really well. Now she's got a new song out, and I said, when I heard this was coming out and I heard the music, I'm like, wow, every song, it's been good since the get-go. It's been great. It just keeps getting greater, though. It just keeps going. You're on the road.
I mean, that is definitely, we never know. I mean, as artists, I don't think we ever really know how that's going to play out, but that's definitely what I strive for. I'm always like, I'm very picky about the things that I record just for that reason alone, because I know if I'm sending something out to radio, that's what I want, people who are going to be adding the song to think. Like, she's always improving, things are always getting better, and that's what we should be doing as artists and musicians, is always continuing to better ourselves and put out better things than we did before.
And you are attempting to live your dream, and you're doing it very well, and you chose this path over being an attorney. Is that correct? Do I remember correctly?
Yeah. And I'm so glad that that's exactly the direction that I took.
But that runs
against people who have the motivation and the courage to be an attorney, because I know that takes a lot. I mean, but I just, now that I'm here and I'm not there, it's definitely for the right reasons.
And we were talking about that would have been California. Correct?
Probably California, but I don't know where I probably would have applied for law school.
I got you.
Okay. I never even got that far. And I'm so glad I didn't, because it just wasn't right. I think I was trying to talk myself into something because I thought music was just too out of reach. But at the end of the day, if everyone had that mindset, then we would have no musicians. We would have no artists. If everyone was too scared to go for their dreams, and there wouldn't be anything to listen to on the radio.
So what was the turning point that made you go in this direction, and how did your family, your parents, take all that?
Well, I had always been singing, so they knew I loved that, but I don't think they ever took it that seriously, probably because in their mind they wanted to live in denial and think that I really wasn't taking it that seriously. And I remember coming home from college, and before, the idea of going to law school, and I said, I'm just not doing it. And the reason why I liked law so much, and I think I've said this before, is just that it was another form of performing. And I liked the idea of kind of having like an audience, a captivated audience, which was a jury and a judge, and kind of putting on a show. And that's kind of what attorneys do. I mean, we've all seen, the Johnny Cochran OJ case. That was a big, that's a show, it's entertainment in a sense, unfortunately at other people's expenses, but it is. And I realized though that wasn't, at the end of the day, that wasn't the form of entertainment that was really feeding my passion and what I wanted to do. I'm a natural performer in all facets of that, but music is really where I wanted to be the whole time. And my parents were so wonderfully supportive. I think they just realized that I'm a go-getter in most things. And when I'm not a go-getter, I'm not a go-getter. I'm lazy about the things.
It's either all or none.
Yeah. And my parents were like, oh, no, she actually really I'll roll out of bed at 4 a.m. for music. And that's not something that I'll do for anything,
Right.
When they started seeing that aspect of me come out, they're like, wait, she's actually taking this really seriously. And I think that's all parents really want for their kids, right? Is one, for them to be happy, but then for them to work really hard at whatever they want to do. And I doubt they wanted me to do something if I was just going to coast through.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sure they could tell that their passion was there.
And I'm pretty obvious with how I am with most things. I wear all emotions on my face and my attitude. And so everyone can tell when I talk about music and when I talk about being here, I just light up. And it's something that I haven't found anything else that I've lit up for.
Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know. When you feel that way about something that you're doing, you have that good feeling, you're on that right path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, taking it back, you told us a few months ago when we talked to you, and you still had the Christmas tree up, although it was like a month after Christmas.
Yeah.
And
actually, lazy.
I know, but that's a beautiful tree. If it was me and I had a tree that looked like that, it'd still be up. Seriously.
I mean, yeah, I actually have a friend that does a year-round Christmas tree, and she just changes it for the season.
There you go.
That's a thought.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
people do that. Yeah. I see Easter trees. I see Halloween trees. Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. They do their thing. So yeah, all that. You could do that very easily. But let's go way back to the beginning, kind of refresh everybody's memory a little bit. Wasn't there a story about a LeAnn Rimes and the national anthem or something along those lines? And you saw that and you said, that's what I want to do, or something like that?
So I always knew I wanted to sing, and that was from the moment I was introduced to Celine Dion. That was at around age 4 or 5.
Oh wow!
And that was just I was mesmerized with her. I still am. She's my biggest inspiration when it comes to music in general. But I hadn't figured out genre yet, because who really does at 5, 6? I mean, I think that's still something.
Right.
I know music, singing, microphone, yes, And I had heard LeAnn Rimes on I think first it was on TV, her singing the national anthem, and it was right after she had won Star Search or
okay,
Star Search,
and it was right before she had, I think, gone in to record How Do I Live and all that. She was in the process of doing all of that, and then she put out a cassette tape, and she actually included the national anthem on the cassette tape along with How Do I Live. And I begged my parents to take me down to Tower Records so I could buy the cassette tape, and I put it in my Walkman, and I just played it over and over and over again. And from there, obviously, I started listening to the whole cassette tape, and that's how I kind of landed on country music, was LeAnn. And my mom was always a big fan of Jody Messina. I don't know if you remember a name, Lila McCain.
Very much. Yes.
And so those were the ones my mom listened to. And so I fell in love with them. And yes, while I still love Celine Dion, there was something about country music and the storytelling aspect of it, and just the authenticity that I felt from that at such a young age, that's how I decided that it was country, and I never looked back. I've been asked many times about pop, and because my voice definitely does lean with pop elements, and that's because I'm from California. I mean, I have a lot of pop influences.
Right.
So, but I never for once have questioned what genre I wanted to be in, and that was since I was 7.
You know, the pop thing is actually a big part of the country that is today.
It is.
Mhm.
It's all come together.
It is, and I love that because it helps.
Mhm.
One, it's welcoming me, but I know we should always still not tread lightly, but you have people who are just like strong country fans, and they're not exactly pleased with how country maybe is going, but then there's people who are way more welcoming of it. And I think as long as we respect where country has been,
Mhm.
then we can appreciate also where it's going. And as artists, we still have to respect the past too.
Mhm.
And I try and add in those elements, whether that's an instrument or, you know, lyrically, you have to, I like to try and make a good relationship between the two so that I can, you know, create a better understanding with an audience and listeners. So it's just not like I don't want people to think that I'm pop, but just with a country
Right.
label.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm in country for a reason. It's because I love country music.
Absolutely.
This is funny, but you're talking about Leanne, and that's exactly how we got into country, because my oldest daughter had won a raffle for a fan club party for her. So we packed up all our kids. We had no idea what we were getting into. We went to her fan club party, and we just had this amazing experience. Brad Paisley was there, and he was brand new, and she put on this show, and we were hooked ever since. So it's all her doing that got us all started with the country.
Honestly, and I've created actually a full circle moment recently. I work with a woman here in town named Tammy Kid Hutton, and she helps me like find songs and in the studio, and she's kind of like my like right hand woman when it comes to like a lot of things. I like we ping things off of each other, and the very first song I ever recorded in a little home studio, and it was actually to a karaoke mix of the song. It wasn't even like a band playing it. Was Probably Wouldn't Be This Way, and it was the first thing I've ever done in any fashion when it comes to like a recording of any kind. And I think I was 16 because it came out in 2006, 2005, 2006. And Tammy happens to be one of the major co-writers on Probably Wouldn't Be This Way. And I had no idea.
Oh my gosh.
And so what I haven't said to anybody else before, and nobody knows this, so you guys will be the first to know this, is I'm going back into the studio to re-record Probably Wouldn't Be This Way.
Oh my goodness. I can't. That is so great.
That is nice.
Moment. And I asked Tammy, I was like, were you there, you know, when Leanne recorded it? And she goes, no, writers aren't usually. And I was like, oh, you're right, writers aren't usually in the room when people are recording.
Right.
And I was like, but I want you there, and I want you to help, because this is you know, your baby, and let's re-envision this. And Leanne already made it so big, right? So we have no other choice but to make it different, because if you go in there and you copy it, like, it's already been done and it did well. So we got to reimagine. And it's been enough time, I think, since 2006 to now to release it and kind of give it a new life. Have
you met Leanne?
I have not.
Oh, well, I'm just thinking she'll probably hear your version, and
we did
be right at your front door.
a Christmas show with her many, many years ago, and she was a sweetheart. And
she's got one heck of a voice.
Yes, a voice that is, and I love Blue, and when she sings that even today, it's like, wow.
Insensitive is a good one too.
Yes. You know what you're missing? Where is it?
Out of it all the time. It's in my coffee. You want me to get it?
I bet you don't have it.
Of course I have it.
She has it. She's just not using it at the moment.
You know what she's missing? She's missing it.
It's there. There it is.
Oh,
see?
Yeah. Oh, you got version 1.
She's got version 1.
Yeah, this is
there. There you go. Right at you.
What did you think? I sold it at a garage sale or something?
Well, you never know. You know, I mean, I know how these things work, but no, we're gonna have to send you the new version. But anyways, I love this. I just had to bust on you about that. And that's proof that if anybody that's watching this, that's proof that we actually do know each other and that we've been through the podcast thing before. So.
Of course.
Wow, it's readily available. Look at that.
Water tastes better.
It does. Out of a Skip Happens mug. Like I said, that's version 1. We got to get you the version 2 or 3, whatever one this one is. So, anyway, tell us a little bit about the new single, I Don't.
Oh my gosh, I don't. So I have, since I've moved to Nashville and it's been over 3 years now, I've always, I love collaborating. I love doing things
Mhm.
with people. There's no fun doing things all the time alone. Like it's just not. And I've always wanted to do a duet. But I think the right thing has to approach at the right time. It's all a timing thing and it has to be a good fit. And I just hadn't found that yet. And Tammy, actually, the woman I was just talking about.
Mhm. Mhm.
We'd been working together and she was, I was like, you know what, we're looking for music right now. And I was like, I really don't know where I'm wanting to land on on a next song. And I was like, and she goes, well, let me look around. And she reached out to Jordan Fletcher
Yeah.
and she's like, do you have any songs that would like fit a girl? And because she works with him too. And he was like, I don't know if I do, but let me look. And then he had sent over I Don't to her and she sent it to me and I go, oh my gosh, I love this. And she goes, I do too. And she goes, I'm like, this could easily be a girl song, but it would be better almost as a duet. And then she goes, I was thinking the same thing. And I'm like, let's see if he'd be interested because one, it's his song. And
Right.
I always love to make sure if I'm cutting something that somebody else is, I'm somebody that just really, I know you don't have to, but I love to get the collaborative idea of what a writer envisioned too. I think that's really important, especially if you're not writing your music. It's really important for me to make the writer proud as well, because that's their baby. So if they're going to trust me with something of theirs, I want to make sure that they're also happy with it. And by no means do I want, like telling exactly how to do it because I need to bring me into it as well. But it was such a cool collaborative effort because he was like, yeah, I'll do it with you. That's cool. Let's do it. And right now we're kind of in a phase of duets are really popular right now. Like a lot of people are collaborating. And I was like, what a great time to do this. And we didn't know if our voices were going to blend nicely together. We weren't really sure. And we got into a room together. We met up at where he signed as with his pub deal and we played it out and it worked and it was good. And I was like, wow. And what I love is that he's so different from me, but we were both able to bring both of our style to it and create something really cool.
I think that's a good thing, though, that you're different from each other.
I totally agree. Because I think he has such a very cool voice that stands out like immediately. And that I had just heard the demo before I had met him. So I was like, this guy's voice is incredible. And he has kind of like that, more of a traditional country grit sound. And I have a smoother, more pop elements. But when they come together, they just do something really good.
You take a beautiful female voice like yours, you put it with his voice, with the grit, and it's just what a match. What a match.
In the studio, it was so fun, but it was also so easy. And that's when you know something's right, when something comes so naturally and so easy. We didn't spend all day, it was like we got in the vocal booth individually, watched each other. We really didn't have to do more than like 2 to 3 passes and it was done. And that was really nice because obviously this is my first time collaborating with someone and doing a duet. You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how, picky someone's going to be with something. I'm pretty go with the flow. He ended up not surprisingly, but like wonderfully being also go with the flow, just kind of like wherever things fell and they landed and wherever they felt good, we felt good about it. And we love how it turned out.
Did you get a chance to do this ahead of time and then go into the booth? Did you guys?
Yeah. So we really worked it up together once.
Once.
And that was it. And then we went. And our first recording day, we met up and we just watched the musicians do their thing because that's magical to watch here in Nashville. And then the next time we just went into the vocal booth and we banged it out probably in like an hour, if that.
Oh my gosh. I love hearing that, how people can some artists just whip it right in 2 seconds.
Totally amazing. Tell everybody, what is it like to go into a recording studio? You have a band, you got the individual booths. I think a lot of people watch this and they listen to us on the radio and that we play your music, but I don't think they really realize what is it like when you walk through that door. You go into I go into the radio station every day, but you go into a recording studio. What is that like? Can you explain that a little bit?
It's honestly so much fun, and it's too bad that it doesn't last longer. Actually, the experience goes by so fast, and you want it to continue. But at the end of the day, you know, you're like time is of the essence, you know,
That's true.
we're booking a spot. Unless you're in a home studio, then you have a little bit more leeway to kind of just enjoy yourself and play with things. But when you're kind of on the clock, you're a little bit more like, we kind of got to get it done. And obviously if you want more time, you're going to get more time somewhere along the line. But it's so fun. I mean, for me though, it's therapeutic. It's, you know, it's easy. You get it, you go in there, and the people I work with are so also easygoing too. I've worked with people in the past, not here in Nashville, but far long ago, like in another lifetime ago, where they make the process not fun. And it really is about the people you surround yourself with, you know, your producer or people that are in the room with you, because that can define how you even sound. Like I had somebody back in the day where they just nitpicked everything I did, to when I finally heard myself back, I didn't even sound like me anymore.
See, I hate that. And I think even with me on the radio side of things, I want to go in and have fun, and I want to go in and be me, and I want to sound like me. Don't tell me to sound like somebody else, or don't nitpick at what I'm doing. What you hear is me. That's you know, that's the way it should be. Deb knows.
Well, now
we've had this conversation.
But that's why it's so important to find a producer that's like a relationship all in itself. You know, you have to be able to trust them, and you have to be able to collaborate. And when they want to try something, you know, different, you have to be able to trust them enough, and then they got to trust you. And you say, that's not me, I'm not feeling that. Like, and that you have to be able to do that with each other and not feel weird about it.
Isn't that the feel of Nashville though? You go into these recording studios, and I've seen a few. They're like old homes that have been converted into recording studios, and the whole atmosphere is like fun and relaxing, instead of some corporate building, you know, office building somewhere that you might find on the West Coast or something.
I would say most of them they definitely have more of a warm element to them. At least the ones I've been in, even the historic ones. I mean, they still have a warm element to it.
Have you been in a recording studio where maybe some major artist has performed, and you stand there and go, wow, I'm standing in this booth, I'm using this microphone, oh my God, so and so did this?
I mean, I'm sure I have. I mean, but there's been plenty of times where I've been recording where people have been there at the same time recording, like 2 doors down. A Little Big Town was in the last time when I was recording they were about 2 doors down, and they were cutting their new album, which I don't believe is even announced yet. And and so it is really cool that, you know, even though I'm like a new artist, and I'm still, you know, working my way up, it's cool to know that we're all doing it kind of in the same locations.
So you all go to the kitchen, you're hanging out, yo dude, what's up, what are you
I did ask him on the way to the bathroom. I was like, oh.
Hey, how are you? See you later. Good to see you again. I get it. So you told us before we flipped the mics on and the lights and all that, you got somebody there that's going to play guitar for you, and you wanted to sing a new song. And
I let people who do the things better than me do them, and then I do what I do. You know what I mean?
Right. You're the singer. You're the singer. These guys. Yeah. Now, what his first name is? What again?
Rylan.
Rylan?
Yes.
I love that. Rylan. I've never heard that name.
Okay, spell that for me.
All right. Rylan.
Okay, right.
My mom wanted Dylan and my dad wanted Riley, so they put them together.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
are you serious, dude? Are you serious? That's awesome.
I was supposed to be named Amber.
Oh,
I like it.
And then the reason why they landed on Tiffany was because in the delivery room after I was born, the song "I Think We're Alone Now" came on, and then that was pop star Tiffany.
Tiffany.
I like that name, and then and hence Tiffany was born.
What are we gonna name her?
It was named after a singer, which is pretty serendipitous.
Oh, that's kind of there you go.
Yeah.
So Rylan, welcome.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Appreciate you letting me tag along here.
Absolutely. There's no beer in the fridge though, so I guess we're kind of out of luck. You were right over there by the fridge. You could have.
Yeah, there's a station down the street. I'll be.
Sorry.
I love it.
I know it's horrible. I think I have some wine on tap, but I haven't opened any of it because like we said when when we didn't start recording yet. For the audience, I'm on Whole 30. It's really fun.
I know.
Girl, you go. You look great. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's wonderful. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to do the new song, right?
Do the new single because what heck, why not?
Let's do it.
Yay. Love it.
All
We're
right.
ready.
Here we go. It's Tiffany Woys.
Don't stay up checking my phone, wondering if you're all alone, or if there's somebody turning you on like they used to. Oh yeah, and I don't go out at night, drink too much and hope I might see you walking, cause I don't need you, except for when I do. Thought of me and you hits out of the blue every other night or two. Yeah, I swear it's true that, boy, I'm doing fine almost all the time. I don't lose my mind, I don't miss you, I don't wish that I was with you, except for when I do. Ooh, ooh. Except for when I do. Ooh, ooh. I don't stand at the kitchen counter, daydreaming about you. I don't have second thoughts now, cause I don't think about you, except for when I do. Thought of me and you hits out of the blue every other night or two. Yeah, I swear it's true that, boy, I'm doing fine almost all the time. I don't lose my mind, I don't miss you, I don't wish that I was with you, except for when I do. Ooh, ooh. Except for when I do. Ooh, ooh. I don't think about the day we met, I don't think about the day you left, I don't wish that you still scared, cause I swear I don't, except for when I do. Thought of me and you, it's out of the blue every other night or two. Yeah, I swear it's true, except for when I do. Thought of me and you, it's out of the blue every other night or two. Yeah, I swear it's true that, boy, I'm doing fine almost all the time. I don't lose my mind, I don't miss you, I don't wish that I was with you, except for when I do. Ooh, ooh. Except for when I do. Ooh, ooh. Except for when I do. Except for when I do.
Wow, wow,
Yay.
wow.
Sounded awesome.
Yeah.
You
So good. So good. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
for
Wow.
having me again.
You can. What's
What's
that?
that?
Thank you for having me again. I mean,
Oh,
Well, it must have been a mistake. I
having-
don't know why we have you. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
oh my God.
You know me better than that.
Oh, anytime. We love to get caught up and see where people were a while ago and where they are now, especially during the whole COVID transition.
Yeah, honestly, I really just appreciated it because it's been, I'm gonna go on another little leg of radio in
Good.
July.
Mhm.
I'm really excited about that because things are really starting to kind of gain momentum again. I'm really excited about it, and I'm putting together an EP, so that will be.
Yay.
I don't have a date. I don't know when at all. We're still in
Mhm.
the studio, but I just cut 2 new songs actually on Friday, so. I know I don't will be on the EP, and that's the only confirmed song that will be on it that I know so
Okay.
far. And I'm pretty sure it'll be 5 songs. And I'm just really excited to just get back out there and do what I love to do. And I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing probably Rylan more. He'll probably be on the road.
Bring them by. Bring them by.
Yeah, he's a gem. So gotta
Yeah, when you get a good one, you got to keep them.
Yeah.
Now, does Rylan play with you on a regular basis?
We are actually you can hop back in.
Come on in, dude. It's
I was
good.
trying to tell him to stay before, but I just didn't get it out fast enough.
Tammy, actually, the woman that I keep on referring to,
Sure.
she introduced us, and kind of recently, and
Probably 2-3 months ago.
yeah,
It's kind of the common denominator with with a lot of people that she works with.
It's
So
Was the
I love Nashville though. It's like you find like people just start branching off of each other, and everyone's just so good about introducing people and kind of becoming more of a community, and that's what I love about it. And that's how I met him, and I love it. It's great.
when you two kind of met each other, Rylan, was her Christmas tree still up?
yeah, yeah,
Was it really?
yeah. When we had rehearsal, here, so maybe it was 5 months ago. We'll give you some slack there.
Well, I could have stayed up till February.
And that's all right. No, that's good. That's good. Like we said, it could be a tree for all the holidays.
You know, I think what I was thinking was like, I felt like we got so gypped on Christmas the last, few times.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
like, keep it
Spread the
going.
cheer.
Keep it
going.
going. Yeah.
Totally. Now, Rylan, you'd be going out with her like on the radio tour, or hopefully when she hits
And
up radio stations.
I'm only a fiddle player. Well, I'm
Oh,
utility,
yeah.
so I play.
You can play everything.
Everything, but that's why I actually texted her today. We were in the group, and I said, "Oh, am I? I didn't know if I was playing guitar, or if I was playing fiddle tonight." But,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't. Over the 3 years I've been here, I haven't ran into too many fiddle players. You're kind of like a special one.
Little, yeah.
for me right there. Yeah.
One of those little hidden gems.
Yes. And who have you played for, Rylan?
Oh, geez, here we go.
Um,
Tiffany, we'll come back to you in a little bit, okay?
Please, no, I want Riley to showcase this.
I've played with a lot of different groups, and I've opened for a lot of different people. I've opened for Garth Brooks. I've opened for Miranda for a couple of different tours. Justin Moore, Dierks Bentley, Blake Shelton, Thomas Rhett. I did about 12 years nationally, and I actually kind of quit that about 2 years ago because focusing more on some of my own personal stuff too. So I gave the crazy road life up and started doing, but I enjoy it now because I have free time to work on projects that I want.
Right.
Like if it was before, me and Tiffany couldn't have worked together because I would have been gone every weekend.
Timing is everything. Tell everybody your Instagram.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
plug yourself.
It's Rylan.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm right.
Fowler Music. That's RYLAN and then FOWLER Music, which I actually changed that today. Tammy has been on me forever because it was just Rylan F for forever.
Oh, that's a problem.
So literally this afternoon, what a coincidence. I was like, I was tagging some guys that I played with in Ohio this weekend, and every guy I tagged had music at the end of theirs, and I was like, well, all right.
I think mine does.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right, so we will be following you. We'll add you to our list.
What's it like for either one of you to answer this, but even for Rylan, what's it like to be on the road every weekend, year after year, or maybe weeks at a time? Does that take a lot out of you, or what is that like?
it takes a really special person. And I got lucky that I started young. I mean, I was on the tour bus at 13. So before I had to worry about serious relationships and car payments and so, and it takes a special group of friends and people that are in your life because it doesn't matter. There's no sick days. I can't get a paid vacation, especially on a big tour. So every, through high school and college, every bonfire, every birthday party, or even family vacations, family reunions, things like that, you miss them. But you have a road family and you have so much experience. I mean, you get to live like you're wealthy, really, without being, 5-star hotels and backstage everywhere. So it's a unique way to grow up, and for the right person that can handle it, it's a blast. And I wouldn't take a second of it back. And I've been doing it for
forever.
You learn a
It's
lot.
funny about not taking a sick day, because it's so true. You have to learn to play through feeling that way. And the one that sticks out to me the most for me is I had the opportunity to go play for Disney corporate, and I went down there, and my allergies had never been worse in its entire life. And this wasn't just like a listener thing. This was like a cold boardroom meeting. 5 people, or people just sitting there watching you with like a clipboard, kind of like they're judging you in a sense. You're playing your music, and I had 5 songs to sing.
Oh my gosh!
And I had 2 guitar players that I had never played with before. They were kind of higher ons when you got there. That in LA, I landed, I met him, we ran through things like once. My voice was so bad that like, and I'm sucking down like teas and throat coats and trying anything you can possibly do to just get by. And I was like, well, this is where personality gotta shine, guys. Like, and you know, but I will say that when like, I don't know about you, Rylan, but when it comes to when I'm under pressure, I work better.
Oh,
If I do not have like that idea of like the red light fear, like when the camera goes on, I'm more like I turn it on more so that way. If it's too leisurely and too like, you know, I tend to slack off a little bit and not put on the show that is deserved or I'm not my best. I'm just not. And when things get really important, I'm like, all right, like game on, you know, but yeah, that was one of the most terrifying things, but it did teach me a very valuable lesson that no matter what you're going through, you know, Disney isn't rescheduling you know what I mean? Like you're either going to show up and give it your all and give it your best and hopefully it's good enough, or, you know, you do better next time, you know, and
if there's a next
time.
If there's
a next time.
You get right now.
Or that's it.
And
now, was this
personality goes a long ways too, though.
Oh yeah, I have to agree there.
But I mean, that's I mean, I loved radio tours so much because it was a way for me to not only meet, you know, people like both of you, but also like one, show my personality, because you can't get that through a picture or just through sending off, you know, a track. But also the idea of an intimidation, knowing that not everybody has to like you, you know, but what are you going to do about that? You have probably, I had what, maybe 15, 20 minutes with you. I have 15, 20 minutes to make you, you know, not fake you out by any means, be myself, but make you, you know, why should you like me? You know, and that's the moment you have. And that's kind of what this is. And if you're sick or not sick, that's it. Like you have that maybe, if you're lucky, 20 minutes, maybe 10. Yeah. And that's it. And if you happen to be sick, you make the most out of that 10, you know?
You know, that's go ahead, Deb.
I was just wondering if this was an opportunity, were you auditioning to sing for Disney, or was it just a corporate board meeting they wanted you to?
They ended up, I was so blessed. And obviously before Radio Disney Country, you know, closed doors, they really, Radio Disney Country took on my first single that didn't go to radio, just to like other outlets. And they took it on hold and it reached number 13, I believe. And that was a huge moment, but they wanted me to come down there, and rightfully so. I'm all for, don't just get the, you know, someone ships the single and just jump on board. Sometimes I think we gotta earn our spots. Our boots gotta be on the ground. And I don't like that artists nowadays don't do radio tours as much. I don't like that they don't step into the doors, shake the hands, sing for you live, show you that I can do what I do on a track and I can also do it live. I think we're missing that. And obviously I know COVID was a big portion of that, but I think artists need to get back into working for it, not just shipping it out and expecting because it's a good song for radio to play it. I'm sure you get tons of songs shipped to you, Skip. I mean,
my goodness.
And
yes,
but there's something to be said about the artist that wants to schedule the time to walk through the door, to meet you, to get to know you, and again, not to fake it, but to say, hey, like this is what I want to do for a living. This is me. This is my passion.
Right.
And I can easily sit back on my couch here in Nashville and just ship singles. But like, come on, you know.
But in life, in life in general, I think the world has kind of gotten away from that face-to-face anything. It's so easy to just text someone or send an email, or, you know, I've tried to teach my kids growing up, there's just certain things you just do not text, you do not email, you handle on the phone or you go face-to-face, because we've lost sight of that. So,
I think last time we talked up, it was about a breakup, right? Someone texted.
Yes.
And
yes.
I said, my ex-boyfriend broke up with me over the phone, and we had been dating almost 5 years.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember that.
He had just come to Nashville to visit me. Could have done it in person. Instead, lied. Said, can't wait to see you. I love you. Ah. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, I get a call. So like, listen, I'm not really like in love with you anymore. And like, I'm like, are you what?
Don't you want to?
I remember that conversation now that you mention it. Oh my God.
We're so on the same page with that whole upbringing.
I dropped him off at the airport and it was.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's great. Yeah. We're great. We were great.
No, you were not.
I remember that whole conversation.
Yeah. No, it's just so important. I mean, it just really, I mean,
a song came out of that.
There you go.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's always a positive ending.
Always.
See, everything is good now. Everything is great.
Oh.
Look where you are. Look what you're doing. Look at your surroundings. It's so good.
I mean, are you playing, either one of you playing anywhere in Nashville, or do you prefer not to play in Nashville?
I'm sure.
Rylan?
Or are you not? Yeah, you are all the time.
Actually, the last couple of years, yeah, gosh, right before the shutdown, I was playing like 40 hours a week on stage. I was doing doubles and triples, so I'd start at 10 a.m.
40 hours a week?
Yeah, 6 days a week. Some days I do quads. I would start at 10 a.m. and finish at 2:30 in the morning.
Are you on all the like Broadway bars, or are you outside of the city area?
As soon when I got off the road, I thought, well, I'm gonna teeth and do, because you get stuck in a rut where you're playing the same stuff. You know, I have 200,000 people a weekend, but I wasn't practicing. I wasn't learning anything new. I wasn't singing my own stuff. So then I got into Nashville, started getting up in front and doing a lot of that, and just really putting my time in. And that was all on Broadway, all downtown. Now I'm actually, right now, I'm kind of doing the pullback. I'm not traveling as much. I'm not doing as much downtown, focusing on the people that I'm working with, and then also some of my own stuff. And there again, you get so busy doing the Broadway thing, because you can make, if you're at the right bars and got the right shifts, you can make pretty good money down there.
And Broadway is back.
Oh, back. Oh, big time. Big time, big time.
I was on the webcam the other night and the weekend, and I was looking at what was going on down on Broadway, and I was like, this is freaking nuts. And, you know, I mean, anybody that's from Nashville or you live in Nashville, you kind of distance yourself from Broadway a little bit. Even those of us, even those of us that go there on occasion for seminars and stuff like that, it's like, all right, you know, I'd rather go to the Station Inn or somewhere like that.
Yeah. Great.
Your friends lead the Station Inn. Like, my friends want to go out on the weekend sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to go down. I just spent the week there, you know. Going to the office day off.
Yeah. That to me, I think I might have shared with you guys before. I've shared with other people before that's like friends wanting to go to a karaoke bar for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will figure out any excuse to not go to the karaoke bar, because one, it's like, obviously I love singing. It's what I love to do. I do it even in my kitchen, in the shower, wherever I'm at, I'm always singing. But it's like, there's something about it where like your friends are expecting too much of you too, because that's what you do.
Right.
And then me, I take it too seriously. I can't even loosen up and have fun. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm getting anxious. Like, and then the bar is, you don't get to pick the key you sing it in, right? Like, it's whatever the karaoke version of that is, and you're gonna sing it that way. So I'm like, well, if anyone's gonna make me sing anything, I'm only singing Rascal Flats because I sing in Gary's key for everything. So that's what I'm doing. But I take it too seriously. I can't loosen up. I can't have fun. Everyone else is having a blast. I'm like,
no, I got to get out of here.
Me home.
Or take me somewhere where there is not karaoke.
Yeah, I'll go to a karaoke bar. Just don't expect me to do it. Can I just watch?
Right. I'll have my beer. Oh, wait, I was going to say I'd have my beer and watch, but you're not drinking beer. So I don't know. I'd have my glass of wine.
No alcohol. None.
What?
Well, you only have 15 more days left, I think.
Whoa.
It goes fast. It goes fast.
Time out. Wait a minute. This is only a 30-day thing?
Yeah, whole 30.
Well, now I get it. Whole 30.
Yeah.
But
I was confused too.
Thank you, Rylan. I have no idea. This must be a chick thing. I don't know.
Implement things back to see if that works for your life and your lifestyle and your health. And then, because right now, like what you're left with is basically the whole version of foods. Like that's like, you can only have whole foods and you have to look at the ingredients very, very strictly. But that's what I think mainly I'm going to take away from this, because I don't have an allergy to like dairy or anything like that, or gluten.
Right.
For me, I'm going to be so much better at going to a grocery store and looking at the ingredients and really kind of like taking that in, versus like just seeing something that says non-fat and throwing it in my cart, when really that's just filled with a lot of extra additives that are not good for you at all.
You've never seen me in a grocery store.
If you even just look at the sugar, if that's the only thing you look at how much food, everything you pick up has added sugar.
Right.
There's 9 grams of sugar, 8.5 are added.
Yeah, I would rather have like the natural sugars than like the cane sugar packed in it.
Yeah.
And I bought this. The thing that's helped me through the most with this though is I bought this app. It's $2.99. And it's a bar scanner, and you can scan anything in a grocery store, and it will tell you if it's approved or not approved. And if it's not approved, it will list you why it's not approved. It's the best $2.99.
Ooh,
wow!
I'll have to get that when we're done.
Yeah. Now, going back to being an artist, how does
sure. Let's get back to that. Yeah.
No, but it's kind of related though. How does this Whole30 diet help you as an artist? Do you think it makes you feel better about yourself and makes you more outgoing?
First and foremost, I did it not mainly for like a weight thing, but that was kind of an additive plus, because I mean, COVID and sitting around so much, and not what I do when I watch a baby all day. I'm sitting a lot, so I had like an extra 5 I could get rid of. You know, like we all always 5 to 7,
an extra 25. But that's all right. Go ahead.
So that was just like the plus. That's not why I did it to begin with. It wasn't a weight thing that like got me into it. It was more like, I want to feel better. Like I want to wake up every day with more energy. I want to just like go to bed every night and wake up and feel like get a better night's sleep. You feel rested. You're up. You have more energy throughout the day. I can wake up earlier now, and that longevity of energy lasts much longer than I don't have midday crashes right now. And that does help being an artist, because it just, the longevity in your energy when it comes to even singing. I mean, like I have more energy just to work out. And for me, what's best for my voice, if I'm not warming up or cooling down my vocal cords, it's running or walking, any type of cardio, because it really does.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Wow. And there's the no sick days kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the healthier you can keep your body, especially on the road.
Radio tour that taught me a lot.
It's gotten a lot of guys. Of them, if you treat it, which my dad, when I was really young, told me, he said, son, if you treat this like a job, it'll be the best job that you've ever had.
Yeah.
You treat it like a party, you're going to burn out, and you're going to be sick, and you're going to lose your voice.
Right.
It can happen.
Wow. You said, Rylan, you were on the tour bus at the age of 13?
Yeah.
Was your dad on the road, or?
Yeah, at the time, it was my dad was playing bass for the band that I was in. A guy named Wayne Warner.
Okay.
And I was 13. We still had the big dance bars, and that was.
Yeah.
And he had the #1 country dance. It's called Turbo Twang.
Oh, wow.
And so I was playing dobro and acoustic and fiddle out there. And then being out when you're on the road, and then you're with other acts, and then other acts had seen me out there. So yeah, when I was 13, it was incredible. We got to tour together, and through the years, he was working with Miranda when I was opening for. So we've been on multiple tours through the years together.
That's fun.
Which has been really cool.
That's really cool.
Which I don't know any other really father-sons.
I know.
No, that's amazing. I love this story. This is amazing.
You know what I mean? Like that's a big scale to do that on with your dad, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
I tried to get my mom or my dad to do any of this. I don't know where I got the music thing. We sit around at holidays and we're like, where did you get it? I'm like, I don't know, because it wasn't from you guys.
There must be a distant relative up
There's
the.
gotta be somebody I don't know
Yeah.
that loved it and did it. Like music, but let's leave it at love. Just leave it at listening.
We only have a few minutes. Oh, go ahead, Deb.
I was just wondering, because circling back to the performance side of it. Where do you head to next? Like, what's the next step now that COVID's pretty much settling down? You said you're thinking of going on radio tour.
Yeah,
but do you have shows lined up as well?
Right now we have one. Right now we're trying to ease our way back into it. So I think we're doing like a week at a time, and then coming back re-evaluating where we go next, because I did hit such a large already portion of the country on my last leg of radio tour, and I still want to go back to those places and like be more strategic about those places. But there's parts that I haven't gone to yet. Like I didn't do any of Florida. There was a lot of California I missed, and I really want to focus on California a lot right now due to the fact that I am from California. And I think that I've kind of missed that idea of like, I need to connect with my own state too. And I think it's important. And we'll see how welcoming they are to the idea of it, just because, you know, I mean, country's getting bigger everywhere, but there's very limited stations in California. It's really tricky.
I know that for a fact. You're absolutely right. And it's, how can I say this and be correct about this? But I'm in a market where we have a big corporate company and we have the small company that I work for. I worked for the corporate side.
Yeah.
Working where I am now, we can open up our doors to the new artist like you. We can make decisions right here locally in our building. I decide what we will play and what we will not play. Yeah. And I don't have somebody sitting in an office in a high rise in some major city somewhere saying, well, in Syracuse, they're going to play this or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's when you talk about certain stations, you run into that, and it's got to be so very frustrating.
Well, my hometown station, Sacramento, California, KNCI, it's very hard to get into the doors. And I love KNCI. You know, but I love them so much. I want to be played on them, you know, but they answer to someone else. And that's my only, because the other two stations got shut down. I believe it was another Wolf. A Wolf was in Sacramento, and then the Bull was also in Sacramento, and both of them shut their doors a few years ago. And now they were left with just KNCI. And I would love to be played on my own hometown station. I mean, I think that's everybody's dream as an artist, right? Like every station is important, but like there's something about the hometown station.
Well, you know, that's what I don't understand is, I mean, I've been there, but really there's still this little area that's very difficult to talk about. But because it's your hometown station, they should at least put you on the air and make a feature out of it. This is a hometown girl. This is what she's doing. She's now living in Nashville. Let's give her, what do you think? You let me know. And they do the socials and all that, you know?
Well, and I understood maybe at first with the first single, because we didn't see, nothing had legs yet. But I kind of feel like every time with every single I've put out, it's kind of outdone the last. And we're actually doing decently on some charts. And so
absolutely.
I have people where I haven't even asked, because I don't really get that involved with it. But I have people in my own hometown that I don't even know that will tag me on their Facebook page and say, play her. She's from Sacramento, and nothing, you know. And so that's kind of, it is disappointing. It's like, you know, you want your hometown to support you. That's like a big portion of this. I mean, you want to be able to go back, you know, and play smaller shows and give back to your own hometown. That's really been goal and what I've wanted to do. But I can't really go back and play shows if they're not gonna, you know, play a single. So hopefully, we're fingers crossed. I think maybe someone will see it, right? Someone will see it.
And you said it right. You're doing really well on some charts. And hopefully that'll open up some other eyes that are going to go, hey, we need to give this young lady a listen. We got to find out more about her. So fingers are crossed for you. And hopefully that happens.
That's the one thing about music, is that people don't realize that it's smart to give people people chances. Take a shot on somebody, because you just never know what that is, you know, is going to lead to. Like, what's a few spins, you know, like, but it could really connect, and it could be the thing that you know, everybody wants. And if someone doesn't take a shot on anybody, I mean, anybody that's out there right now, you know, someone took a shot on them. Someone took a chance.
Absolutely.
And people now, it's not really about taking a shot or taking a chance. It's like, well, how many streams do they have? What are their numbers? What's their follower count? And it's like, wow, that's all well and good, and that's very good to look at. Of course it's good to look at. But sometimes that's not the magic to the artist, you know?
Right, absolutely. Well, I can tell you this much. If you come to the Northeast, bring Rylan with you,
Okay, Rylan.
and we'll put you in front of a lot of people, and
Would
we'll
love that.
definitely, we definitely make it happen for you. I can tell you that much. I promise you that. That's a Skip Clark promise right there. We can make it happen.
Thank
We can
you.
definitely make it happen. Is there just before we let you go here in a moment or two, what's the best advice you have ever been given? Considering everything you just said and all the ups and downs and all that, what is the best advice?
When it comes to, I mean, there's a few things, but when it comes to performing, the best advice I was ever given was no matter the number of the crowd or the important people that are in the crowd or who you're in front of, it doesn't matter. Treat every show as if it was, I sold out Madison Square Garden.
Right.
That's great.
It changed my attitude about performing in dive bars that till 3 a.m. that I didn't want to be at, frankly. Right. I mean, but I treated every single moment that I was on stage. And that's what really grabbed people and been like left saying, even if it was just 1 or 2 people, I left with people that still follow me to this day and buy every single and repost about my stuff because they saw me in a little dive bar in Reno and they said that she treated it like she was at a Carrie Underwood concert. And that really was something that just for the job you want, not for the job you have.
Exactly.
That's great advice.
Absolutely.
And never quit your dream. Honestly, I know that's the most cliche one, and I'm sure other people say it, but 100%, it's really about timing and your work ethic, and you have to just keep going because you're going to hear a lot of no's. And I was sat down with a guy who actually used to work for KNCI, and I remember him sitting me down. I think he was kind of testing me out, and I was really young at the time, and he goes, "You don't want to do this." And I go, "Yes, I do." And he goes, "No, you don't." He's like, "You're probably going to fail." And I was like, oh, that really hurts to hear, and especially like my parents are like, dang, like, oh God, you should do this. And he was all like, everyone's going to say no to you. It's going to be a no. And I think it was his way of seeing what was my fire. Like, like, I don't care if they say no. Like, I remember when I met my manager for the first time, he wasn't sold on the idea because I had music ready to go, and he said, "I like you. I don't like the music." And you have to hear that. You have to be blunt with people, and you can't have thin skin either. You gotta take it, make you better. And I remember hand from across the table, and I said, "If you don't work with me, I totally understand." And I was like, "That's okay with me. You don't have to, but I promise you, one day you'll hear my name." And he ended up calling my entertainment attorney like in the next week, and he's like, "I'll work with her." Like she has a fire.
That's awesome. I was going to ask you how you handle the ups and downs because we all know they are there, they exist, but you kind of just answered that and how strong you have to be and just kind of put it to the side and still go along and make it happen.
I also I'm really strong in my faith too. So I believe that there's always a reason and God has it for you. And the bad things is just, it was the journey you were supposed to be put on to get to where you were supposed to be. And so I always really just resort back to like prayer and the right thing will come.
Absolutely.
That's
100%.
just always how I've looked at it.
Yeah, 100%. If you weren't doing what you're doing right now, what do you think you would be doing?
Well,
not be a lawyer.
No.
I wasn't expecting the lawyer answer. No.
Okay.
I would absolutely still be in music, but I would be doing kind of like what my friend Tammy's doing, where it's more of an on the artist development side. I would help someone else like me, boy or girl, achieve the dream that I've always wanted to achieve. Because I think now the longer I've been here, the more I network, the more I meet people, the more if I'm not going to be an artist, I'm sure as heck going to make somebody else an artist.
Wow. Love it. And if there's one person that you could, dead or alive, that you could sit down and talk to right now, whose phone? Is it yours, Deb?
Mine, of course. There's always something going on in my house.
Thank you for calling the Lampiers. We're doing a show. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
If you could sit down with anybody right now and talk to them and kind of pick their brain about the business, who would that be?
2 people, one dead, one alive. One would be Michael Jackson, and the other one would be Celine Dion.
Wow. I would have never have guessed Michael Jackson. Why Michael?
I have been one of the biggest Michael Jackson fans since I was about 5 years old. I know every song, I dance move. That's one of my biggest inspirations as well. I don't say it as much because that comes with sometimes controversy, sometimes not. He's not country, yada yada. I hear it all, but at the end of the day, that's my truth. He is one of my biggest inspirations. Not
Totally.
necessarily his style of music, but his work ethic was so inspirational, and how he worked with the people he worked with. That was something that was very admirable.
Yes.
And he always gave it everything.
He did.
And no, to the last dying second. So that is something I would love to pick. I would have loved to seen him live. I was in the lottery to go watch the This Is It tour, and
wow,
that obviously did not take place. But
No.
I would, I would. He would be probably my number one, other than Celine Dion, because I think she, on a female level, maybe we would understand that aspect of things. And just but Michael Jackson is just he's one of a kind, and I don't know if I'll ever see something like that in my lifetime.
I bet if I ask you, and I bet you can tell me, where were you when the news broke about Michael?
My mom actually woke me up. I was in my home in Sacramento, visiting home from college, and my mom woke me up out of a dead sleep, and he hadn't passed yet. It was just, the news was breaking, and I think it was, oh my gosh, what's that guy's name? Perez Hilton is the one that broke it first. And I got it on, and I said, it's going to be a joke. It's going to be a hoax. It's not real. It's whatever. It's And then when it ended up finally happening, I broke into tears, and I actually didn't talk to people for a few days. I was really, really, really distraught. I mean, I have a tattoo for Michael Jackson. I'm just he's really out, minus the personal stuff, that people find controversial. You can't deny what he brought.
Oh no,
you just can't.
No. That's one thing that comes on at a wedding or some other event that we're at. Michael Jackson will pack the dance floor.
I mean,
this very day.
And he loved his fans too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was always so kind to that. I watched how he worked with people in his circle, and he was always, from what I saw, just so understanding and very willing for collaborative. He was a team player, it seemed like.
Wow.
So do you put either of their music, Michael Jackson or Celine's, into your sets, since they're kind of your favorite?
So ever since I
just throwing it out there.
Simon Cowell said once on American Idol, when I used to watch, there are some artists you just don't touch. And I'm not saying you don't touch them. I'm not saying Cowell's word is God by any means. But there is some truth to that. I think it's a respect element sometimes. And I have done one Celine song before. I did The Prayer, which was the hardest song I've ever sang to this day, because I had to learn Italian, and I cried in the middle of recording it because it was that hard. And I will say, to this day, I would never regret it, because it made me a better singer, and it made me better. And now when I look for, I purposely, because of people like Celine Dion, because I sing her on my off time, right? Not for people, but I use her as a tool to actually strengthen my vocals and to be better. So I will actually pick songs now to record that sometimes I don't do well on the first round. I have to work to get better. So I always try and do a song that challenges me because of her.
Right. No, that's good. That's how we make ourselves better.
Doesn't that go? It goes back to what you were saying earlier about being under pressure, and maybe you work better when you're under pressure, and that's having a harder song to sing must, puts you under more pressure. So
absolutely,
you will do better,
and you practice more.
Yeah, absolutely. Tiffany Woys. Absolutely. Tiffany Woys, what can we find on your website if we go there right now?
You're going to find, whenever I'm going to be on the road for shows, we're going to update that when that starts to come in. Hopefully that will start to come in soon. All my new music, where the links where you can find me, to my Instagram, I don't really use Twitter. Sorry, guys. My Facebook, my Instagram is really where I post most of my updated stuff. And then the website will always have an updated video, whether that's a music video or where the links you can get my songs on Spotify, Apple Music, all that kind of stuff.
You do a little TikTok?
They want me to.
I knew you were going to say that.
Really soon.
Really soon.
Rylan will help you.
We're all laughing about this because when we ask a lot of these artists whether or not they're on TikTok, it's the exact same answer. Yes, there's a lot of them there, and it's done really well for them. I get that.
But I've also said to people, I'm not against going on and putting up my music and stuff like that. I'm really not. I'll probably end up doing it sooner rather than later. But I also tell people that what works for one artist isn't guaranteed to work for somebody else.
Right.
That's true.
Has their
So true.
journey to whatever success is going to come for them. And TikTok really genuinely might not be. But to be fair, I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
Rylan, are you on TikTok?
I have one. I haven't done anything with it yet, but also
We're coming.
That's awesome.
No, listen, don't rush on our account because we're not
please.
on TikTok. I don't want to learn another thing. I'm, have enough hard time with Facebook and Instagram at this point.
I heard
I love
Snapchat made a full comeback
really.
for like stuff like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Tiffany Woys, everybody, she is awesome. Make sure you check out her music. The new song is phenomenal. You can go back if you're just joining us. She sang it earlier with Rylan there on guitar and the backup vocals. Definitely both of you. I mean, I'm so glad that Rylan came into the picture too, because a whole lot of talent. And to find out that you played the dobro and the fiddle and you got the guitar. I mean, a man of many different talents.
Yes.
And
Well,
that's
thank
pretty
you very
cool.
much.
He is
I enjoyed being on here too.
Yeah. Well, you hang out afterwards. We're going to get you hooked up with the latest version.
Hey, I need that.
I'll get you one, brother. Tiffany Woys, everybody. Tiffany, thank you. You're beautiful, and thank you so much for hanging with us here on Skip Happens tonight. And we want our listeners, our viewers, to pick up the single, listen here in the Northeast. I know we're playing it here in Syracuse.
Thank you for that. By the
Oh,
way.
absolutely. It's just a phenomenal song. And we said earlier, they started out great, but they even got greater. We haven't reached the greatest yet, but we're getting there.
We're getting there. And Jordan certainly gifted me such a wonderful song. So everyone should check out Jordan Fletcher as well. He has some wonderful music, and
Awesome.
we're excited to be pushing this single together.
All right, Tiffany Woys, everybody. Tiffany, again, thank you. Be safe. We love you. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.